How's this for an introduction? My next guest shot and killed Osama bin Laden. The May 2011 raid in Afghanistan is the most famous of Robert O'Neill's 400-plus missions as a Navy SEAL. His new book details the planning and circumstances of his face-to-face showdown with the world's most wanted man, the operator firing the shots that killed Osama bin Laden, and my years as a SEAL team warrior. Hey, Robert O'Neill, first of all, thank you. That's what I most want to say to you.
Well, you're very welcome. It was an honor to serve with the best people in the world, and I appreciate being on the show today. Great to see you.
I know that you were responsible for participating in 400-plus missions, and this and perhaps the Maersk, Alabama, are the ones for which you're best known. But how did it compare in terms of difficulty?
As far as difficulty, it wasn't even one of the most difficult targets we'd been on. They selected a group of combat veteran Navy SEALs. We'd all done it hundreds and hundreds of times. It was the best team I've ever been a part of. And we were given the most time to prepare for this mission. So we knew the outside of the compound very, very well. We knew most of the contingencies. We actually came up with worst case scenario, which inevitably happened when the helicopter crashed in the front yard. I was on the other one, but the team was so good, and just based on where I was set down on the outside, I was able to watch my guys just perform unbelievably. Even though we knew it was pretty much a one-way mission, we weren't going to come home. Everyone did their jobs. I remember thinking how cool they were, how professional, and just, you know, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Nobody panicked, even when the helicopter crashed. The pilots were incredible. And we ended up hitting the house the way we did. Our tactics took over. We didn't know what the inside looked like, but that didn't matter. And I was able to watch as we slowly went up the stairs. And when we got to the top, I was just in a position where I turned a corner and I did what any SEAL, any Ranger, any special operator would have done. I saw bin Laden, and he was a threat. He was not surrendering. And so I treated him as if he were a suicide bomber, which I assumed he was. And I shot him in the face 3 times, and then the team did what we always did. We gathered as much intel as we could, and then we left.
To your point about thinking you wouldn't come home from this mission, you had conversation with your wife and your children, your father, that you otherwise would not have had for another mission.
Yes, when we left Virginia to go on the mission, I actually had the last meal with my kids. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know I was leaving town, but I knew. So we were preparing to not come home. And right before I left on the mission, I called my father. He and I talked, and we would talk before a lot of missions, and he would always joke like, you know, I wish I could go with you. And I would say, yeah, I know, Dad, I wish you could too. But on this one, he didn't know where I was. He said, I wish I could go with you. And all I said was, I'm with some great guys. And that was it. That was the last conversation. And you know, the guys went outside, we hugged each other, and then we took off for the thing.
You were a Navy E-7, making about 75 grand with a wife and 2 kids. You splurged on some Prada sunglasses. How come?
I bought those because I was at the mall buying my children going away, never coming back presents. And as depressing as that sounds, I was leaving the mall. I wasn't afraid. I was just focused. And as I'm walking out, I stopped by a sunglasses hut, and they were on sale, if you will, for $240. And I'm like, you know, I can't afford these, but I'm going to be dead next week, and I think American Express can. So I just bought them as kind of a goof. But then I realized that, you know, nothing ever happens the way it's supposed to. What if we need to steal a car in Abbottabad and drive to Islamabad, the capital, where there's coalition embassies and the U.S. embassy? The sun will be out. I'm going to need sunglasses. So I carried those in my pocket in bin Laden's bedroom. I had Prada sunglasses in my cargo pocket.
You went into Pakistan with a magazine with 30 rounds in it. You came home with 27. You pumped 3 into bin Laden.
Yes.
What'd you do with your clip?
There was a woman that was a part of a group that found bin Laden for one of our agencies, another incredible team. She was the one they based a movie on. She was just like that, so cool. She found him. It was all because of them. We were just the means to an end. I gave the magazine to her when we got back in the hangar, and then we went over and saw bin Laden's body. She identified him. She was incredible, one of the coolest people I've ever met. She totally deserved it, at least that.
Final quick question. Are you guys all cool? SEAL Team 6, you all cool with one another? I know there was a little bit of static about books and so forth and different renditions of what had occurred.
You know what? They're such alpha males and such great guys. The only way I can just, you know, some will be happy, some will be upset, and that's fine. The way that I describe that command is it's a freight train moving 150 miles an hour, And if you stay on, you're in. If you get off, the train keeps moving without you. They're doing amazing things. They're going to continue. There's a new generation. We see the new threats from Al-Qaeda and ISIS, the new Hamza bin Laden. There are SEALs out there that are still going to do it, and I'm cool with them. I have nothing but love and respect.
I hope I get to buy you a beer, and I'm sure everybody says that to you. Robert O'Neill, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.
Good. Thanks for that. Up